Hey, this is Warren Redlick, fresh off a workout, Jets Fitness. This is in Pattaya. My normal workout place is in Bangkok, but of course we're moving soon. So Tesla reported their delivery numbers. They sucked. I love how the media is reporting unexpectedly when everyone expected that the numbers were going to fall, and they blame some sort of backlash against Elon when the reality is that Tesla was beginning the ramp of new Model 3. Tesla was beginning the ramp of new Model Y, and that took a lot of production out. Demand for a new Model Y has been very strong. The other thing that stood out from the quarterly deliveries number was the numbers for other models other than 3 and Y, which would be S, X, and Cybertruck, were significantly lower than even I expected. My best guess on that is number one, S and X are on death watch. I think that they're going to introduce a new S and X at the end of the year. With 48 volt and four-wheel steering and maybe a couple other features that we see in Cybertruck and maybe we're going to see in Cybercab. And then we know that what's going on with Cybertruck. There's a lot of questions about Cybertruck. Why isn't Cybertruck selling more volume? I don't know the answer to this question. My best guess is, number one, it's hard to sell a truck at that price. And number two, we know from some reports that Tesla has been working on the dry cell 4680, which will dramatically lower the cost of the battery pack in Cybertruck. And if they're able to get the 4680 ramped with the new dry cell battery process, I think it's going to save ballpark $5,000 to $10,000 per vehicle's battery pack in cost. Well, if you knock out, let's say $10,000 in cost optimistically, that's probably too optimistic. Then you probably lower the price $12,000. So, maybe it's $6,000 or $7,000, and maybe they're able to knock $10,000 off the price of Cybertruck. And then as they ramp it, they're able to deliver the, two-wheel drive Cybertruck with, less range. And they're able to get to a reasonable price point that sells a much greater volume. With that said, it's not really that important. New Model Y is doing great. The numbers out of China, the numbers out of Europe, with the March numbers, I think they were number one selling vehicle in Norway for the quarter without being able to sell for like part of the quarter. And number one selling vehicle in March in China. With all the talk of all these Chinese EVs, Model Y is still going to be the best selling vehicle of the year this year. Probably making a little bit more margin on Model Y because they figured out some manufacturing advantages. Maybe they can sell it for a little bit more money than they could sell old Model Y. So that's good. But the really big thing is they keep saying in June we're going to start Robo Taxi Network in Austin. And I think Robo Taxi Network in Austin is an unlock. That's something that unlocks the share price. That's when analysts have to start looking at the Robo Taxi side of the business, which is much more valuable. And just full disclosure, yesterday for me, maybe, I don't know what time of day it is for you. I'm like 12 or 13 or 11 hours ahead of the East Coast United States. I bought 16 call options for January 2027 with a $600 strike price, about $50,000 worth, because I had sort of committed to trying to get to close to 10% of my portfolio. I'm not quite there yet, but to get to 10% of my portfolio in these long call options. Because the stock price is down, the value of my long call options has gone down. And I just saw this as a tremendous opportunity to get a little bit more in. If I'm correct, I suppose I could be wrong, but it looks likely that we're going to see Robotaxi. They're saying June, but let's say it's August, September of 2025. January 2027 is a long way off. They got a lot of time to get the Robotaxi network working and for Wall Street and the investors to figure out that this is valuable. So, all the reports out of China are that Tesla FSD is much better than all the Chinese self-driving applications. I personally experienced the Xpeng X9 and it was terrible. It was worse than 2021 FSD beta version 10 by a lot, not close. So, Tesla's way ahead on self-driving. Robotaxi's coming. Optimus, I don't know how soon we're going to see Optimus factor into the share price. My guess is not till 2027, maybe 2026. I don't know that Wall Street's going to figure out how to model Optimus the same way you can model Robotaxi. Straightforward to model because you can branch off of Uber. It's just fairly, how do you explain the value of a humanoid robot? I don't know that it's easy. I can model it. Stephen Mark Ryan can model it. CERN Basher can model it. But, can the Wall Street guys model it? Does it fit the way they model things? They need to see revenue, and they don't see things the way we do. So, overall, I think things look great for Tesla. Obviously, it was a bad quarter in terms of deliveries. Stock fell a little bit. Then the stock fell more after hours because of some tariff news. I don't worry about any of that. Like, the tariff news should be good for Tesla because Tesla's more insulated from tariffs than anybody else because they're not worried about tariffs in China. They manufacture the vehicles in China. They're not worried about tariffs in America because they manufacture American vehicles in America, and they manufacture vehicles in Europe. And, as far as I know, the only imports to Europe are from China, and that's not a tariff war. So the only tariff issues are, Tesla doesn't really export much from the U.S., and their domestic content of their U.S. vehicles is very, very high. So they're relatively shielded from all this. It may help Tesla sales because other vehicles may see their prices go up. There's also a rumor. There was a story, not even a rumor. There was a story that, like, Trump told his inner circle that Elon's going to be leaving the government soon. Like, he told Fox News that a month ago. Like, publicly. Yeah, because, Elon he's on like a 130-day deal. It's some federal rule that you can serve for 130 days. So he's a special government employee, 130-day thing, and then he's out. Will he really be out? Will he keep his hands in it? Will he come back again? Who knows? I don't think this is a big deal for Tesla, whether he's in the government or not. Tesla's doing great. The FSD team is doing great. The engineering team is doing great. New Model Y looks spectacular. On a personal note, I'm expecting to take delivery of one of the first new Model Ys in Thailand in May. I am looking at whether I can score a pre-owned Model 3 for maybe 2022 or 2023 for about half the price I'd pay for the Model Y. I don't really need the Model Y that bad. I don't expect to put a lot of miles on. I don't expect to need the interior room yet. And I'm kind of thinking there's going to be like a larger format vehicle, like a new Model X or an extended Model Y, maybe in 2026, maybe earlier, maybe end of this year, and, end up getting two. So save money now so I sell less stock, and that leaves me free to accumulate, grow, and then buy something bigger later. Currently in Pattaya, Thailand, taking a break from Bangkok. Not sure we're ever going to sleep in our condo again because of mild PTSD from a 36th floor experience of an earthquake and running downstairs. I did squats today, which my calves have been hurting. I did squats today, which is a good sign for my calves. So we may never sleep in our condo again because the middle of the month is a festival called Songkran. We go to where my wife's family hangs out. And then after that, we're moving to southern Thailand. I'll report from southern Thailand when we get there. So all in all, I think we got, you can't say that the quarterly report was great news. It was what was expected. It wasn't unexpected like the media is reporting. Was it lower than anyone expected? Maybe a little. Is it a big deal? No. Does it change the future of Tesla as a robotaxi, robotics, and AI company? No. Tesla's doing great. I think there's the XAI buying X story that's kind of interesting, and how will large language models ultimately fit in with Tesla's real world AI? That's something that's going to play out in the future. Will Tesla invest in XAI? A lot of people want that. I don't think that's a big deal. I want to see Tesla use their capital for investing in Tesla, investing in real world AI, investing in models that fit that, Cybercab, and so on. Excited to see Cybercab coming soon. I think there's a lot of great stuff happening. So let's have some fun. Thanks, everybody.